Killing and shooting in Chicago, part 2. Let's talk about it. First, I want to say rest in peace to Willie Cooper. He was an elderly man that was an anti-violence activist in the city of Chicago. In the area he lived in, they called him the mayor. He got shot on 95th, in the Roseland community. It was about 4 in the evening. A car pulled up. They shot him with like an AR-15 type gun. It was like 35 shell casings on the ground, It's real in the field. This is what I've been trying to tell y'all. It's no joke here in the city of Chicago. If you're an activist, if you're anti-guns or whatever, that's a dangerous thing because let me give you an example. Let's say I start a group here with some of you all and we want to go on the streets of Chicago and we want to try to help stop some of the violence. And we're positive. We want to stop helping the violence, stop the violence, cut all the problems down. So, we're going to go in these areas after these shootings and things like that. We're going to talk to people in the community. Well, when we talk to people in the community, the detectives want to talk to us. And when people in the community see the police trying to talk to us, it could give them the idea that you are not just trying to help, but that you are a snitch or an informant. Now people say, well, that's what's wrong. Y'all got a no snitching campaign. But people have been telling y'all the wrong shit, okay? Let me play the bad guy, okay? I'm a bad guy. I go out, I do a murder. I killed a couple people. I kill one, wound one, he might die. The community activist is out on the street talking, and my name pop up. They done already arrested my brother on the suspicion of the shit. My brother looking at a murder case. I know my brother ain't gonna flip on me, but they're gonna pin it on him. These people know my name. I gotta whack them. They got to get shot in order for me to beat my case. So when y'all hear that people be getting hurt from snitching, it's because the people they snitching on don't want no witness to show up in court. It's just that simple. So the no snitch campaign comes from the people that's in trouble more than it comes from everybody else. Also, then there's another no snitch. It's 2 different no snitches. There's that one where the criminals can't afford for you to snitch. They don't want you to come to court and rat on them because they criminals. Shit, ain't nobody gonna do life in prison when they can shoot you and the case get thrown out. Then there's another type of snitch where me and a bunch of friends, we going to do shit. We go pick up 20 kilos of heroin. We bring the heroin back. Everybody, is 4 of us. Everybody got, 5 kilos. 2 of them get caught. Police ask them where they get it from. They go tell on the other 2. See, no, you can't do that. If you're going to be involved in the dirt, then you be involved in the dirt, but don't tell on everybody. Now, a lot of y'all say, man, that no snitching campaign is bullshit. That no snitching campaign, it holds true for everything. You all ain't being honest. Now, people say, what you mean, brother? Because they always want to take something and paint it on the worst side. Okay, I'm going to talk to the black conscious community now, like RBG, Black Power Revolutionaries. All right, it's 9 of us, we revolutionary. We run, we do something crazy, we shoot up some white supremacists. We get away. 3 of them get caught. Should they tell on the other 6? Same thing, no snitching. It's the same shit. You in the military, like John McCain, you get caught by the Vietnamese. Why John McCain went and told them where all the ships was at. John McCain gave them information, and a lot of people's sons didn't come home because they went and bombed all them fleets. That's still no snitching. They just put the word no snitching on it to make it sound and put it on black people. But in every aspect of life, you're supposed to keep your mouth shut and not give up information on your comrade. See, this is how they play games on y'all with wordplay. But in every walk of life, the police department got the blue code. They don't be telling on other police. When I was a child, you know how you kids, my sister was a year younger than me, you know how you kids, you're always doing stuff, and sometimes, you know, one of us would get to running in my mom's room. Mama, he did this. Mama, he did that. Mama, he did that. And after a while, your mama would say what? Stop what? Being a tattletale. You have to be consistent with your ideologies. I see people that, when they see something happen in the black community, they say, oh man, y'all got to get rid of that no snitch campaign. And then them same people turn around and call people agents. Well, what is an agent going to do? An agent is going to snitch, isn't it? Same shit, different toilet. Now, I'm telling you, man, in Chicago, it's really going down. You know, we need people to really highlight the situation first. Before we can even get to solutions, the situation got to be highlighted. I mean, this past weekend, they shot 56 people. 11 of them died. On the real. 11 people died. They shot 56 people. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 56. Okay? Now, for a huge city like this, you know, it's not like everybody in the city know what's going on, because this is a big city. You know, we got hundreds of communities. So people could get shot here, and if it's not on the news, you wouldn't necessarily know it. But in the areas where it is popping off, it's get crazy. And the bad thing about it is that violent mentality is spread, because now we starting to get shootings in the suburbs. They just shot a dude today in a wheelchair out at the mall in the suburbs. Somebody jumped out the car and filled him full of holes. He was in a wheelchair. So what happens is, when you neglect a community, like if you neglect the black or Hispanic community and you create this negative energy, that negative energy becomes a cancer. And it won't stay in the black community. It'll spread. It'll affect everybody. So that's why it's not good to treat people bad, because, you know, it'll come back on you. So, you know, they shot this older brother, man. They aired him out, man, like he was in Iraq or Afghanistan. And the thing about it is, you know, you got to keep your mouth shut and, you know, your eyes to the front in Chicago. You know, I have a Twitter account called Chiraq Homicide, and I post all the shootings and killings, but I never put nobody's name. I never put the victims' names, which is not no big deal, but it just isn't necessary. But I surely don't put nobody's name when they get arrested. Like, I don't follow up on the case. I don't get no description of no vehicles. I don't say nothing about the suspect, none of that. Because once I start doing that, I become an enemy of the city. I'm an op at that point. I can't be going out here getting on Twitter snitching on situations that ain't none of my business, you see? So this situation we got going on here is serious, you know what I'm saying? Like, these dudes got a lot of guns. They ain't playing no games. You know, the violence is through the roof. in certain communities and with certain people in certain areas. You know, they not playing. They very serious. There's no more of this fighting. See, in Chicago, the only time you get to fight is if you get into it with a gang member that's right there in your neighborhood. So let's say I'm a BD or GE or Mo in a certain area and I get into it with, you know, one of my comrades, then all the other Mo's or BDs or folks or whatever come out, and then they stand around and they monitor, they referee me and old boy fight. And they break it up and they make sure we don't do nothing dirty. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times they say, no, you can't wrestle. You got to just stand up and fight head up. Nobody else can't jump in. But let's say I'm a BD in this neighborhood and I get into it with folks in another neighborhood. No, it's shooting. They don't referee that the same way. Ain't no fighting unless we already boys and already been kicking it and already in the same area. That's the only time it's fighting. Other than that, it's straight shooting. There ain't none of that fighting. You know, here in Chicago, we don't believe in that, you know, be a man shit. That shit, nobody ain't fucking with that. Even the people that's not like, I don't gang bang and I don't promote this wild violence. But even I don't believe in that, oh, fight. I don't believe in that. If another man do something to me and it's something that we should fight over, then it ain't nothing. I could just overlook that if it's only worth fighting for. If it's not worth violence, it ain't important. And that's how it is in Chicago. Like, there's none of that something to prove. And I'm trying to teach y'all that in other cities. See, I see people say, you know, a real man will fight. We not trying to be no real man. You know, if you do something to my wife or my daughter, I'm not trying to be a real man. I'm trying to fuck you up. Fuck all that real man shit. I ain't trying to be no real goddamn man. I'm trying to fuck you up. I don't know what the hell a real man got to do with fucking you up. That's all it be about. So it's a whole different mentality. People, you know, sometimes people try to take a mentality from back when you had rotary phones and apply it to 2017. It's 2017. All them old principles, y'all could take that shit and throw it in the garbage. It is out of here. It's a new era. I've done a couple of interviews and people were really disappointed because they asked me what we could do about the violence in Chicago. And they was always disappointed when I said nothing. Because we live in a culture where honesty just ain't popping no more. People want you to say what's popular. They want you to give them an answer that sounds, you know, butterflies and unicorns. And nobody wants the real answer. It's like, what can you do about the violence? Nothing. Well, to them, that sounds crazy, but they don't live here. They don't know how many thousands of small sects we got. Yes, you got only so many gangs, but those gangs are broke up into little groups now. See what I'm saying? So, if I live over here and we GDs, and our boy was Big Romsky, and Big Romsky get killed, we might start calling ourselves Romsky something. See what I'm saying? Now we on Romsky. We ain't on what the other GDs own. We on what we own right here. And this our crew, and we get money, and we go to the club together, and everybody else, who the fuck is you? Now the only time you cool is if it's a big old situation like a jail, we in jail or something. Okay, you folks, okay, what up, folks? Okay, you a Lord, what up? Finball rolling, or you a four or whatever. Cool. But once we back out of jail, no, we Romsky. We whatever, and that's that. We ain't all getting along. This something y'all don't understand. You know, here in Chicago, you know, you got a lot of different vice lords. Now, these vice lords, you know, they don't get along. They be going to war for turf. Some of them is mortal enemies. That's why people should have a lot of respect for Crucial Conflict, because Crucial Conflict was 4 different type of vice lords that hate each other. And them brothers got together and was doing shows and making music together. And it was kind of bringing the community together. And the situation is now when you go to jail, y'all all got to squash whatever was happening outside. Same thing for the GDs and the BDs. The GDs and the BDs, when they get locked up, they all got to sit at the same table. Now, for you all that don't know, when all that negative things happened when they killed little JoJo like that, and it became a big old rap thing, where, you know, these brothers making rap and dissing the BDs and dissing the GDs, once that started happening, I can only imagine the tension in the county jail where BDs and GDs had to sit together. I could just only imagine. It probably was horrible. And, you know, that has totally added to the violence in Chicago, because now they getting on there, you know, my boy named Big Mac, and, you know, some other dude get on there and say, you know, they smoking Big Mac packs after my boy get killed. Oh, come on. And people say, well, man, that's childish. No, it's not, because I've been at the funeral with I know Big Mac mama and his sister and all of them. I was there when he got shot and they was crying. So when you dissing him, it's a lot of emotion. It's not like you all think. These people in these gangs, they be like extended family, like African tribes. They do a lot of shit together. Believe it or not. They do a lot together. They know all each other's whole world. If a brother is a BD and he live in Parkway and he in the house and his mama throw him out and shit, when he come out, only people he got to talk to is the folks down. So he go talk to folks, he tell folks and all them. And trust me, he could go stay at one of their house. On God, he can go stay at one of their house. It ain't nothing. They're like, we got you folks. On the real folks, your mama be on some hoe shit. Man, your mama be tripping folks just like that. But yeah, I don't believe in the violence. You know, my thing was, you know, okay, I spent a lot of time trying to get the gangs to, you know, turn into a corporation. You know, when I lived in Parkway, you know, I knew a brother and, you know, his sister was married to somebody that was running everything, so that made him have a lot of rank. And I used to tell him all the time, I was like, look, folks, when you drop your CD, why you don't make all the folks buy it? You know, turn this into a business. Well, eventually that did start happening, and that's how Chief Keef and all them blew up, because if they a BD and they make a video, all the BDs watch that shit. So yeah, they're going to get 1 million views. You a GD, you make a video, let them know you're a GD. Oh, the GD's going to watch that shit. Yeah, you're going to get 1 million views. You a foe, you make a video, all the foes going to watch it. Yeah, you're going to get 1 million views. So what I was saying kind of just manifested anyway. But I wanted to take it to another level. I said, man, let's get to laundromats. Let's stop doing crime. Let's get to laundromats. Let's get to stores. Let's get all this stuff. And you a GD, you got to buy from the GD store. You a BD, you got to buy from the BD store. You a Mo, you got to buy from the Mo. And let's take our money and spend our money with ourselves and blow all our different street organizations up and go legal, just like the mafia did. I mean, the mafia was doing all that too, but now they running all of the garbage industry, all of the construction. They running all of the trucking industry, concrete, you name it. Vegas, illegal gambling. They're even all up in politics. Why you think they got the lottery? So, you know, man, I need more people out there to, you know, really start seeing what's going on in Chicago and post what's going on in Chicago. You know, I see a lot of black conscious people, they talking all this concern for black people, and then they got this epidemic of their own black people in the city of Chicago, and they ain't even promoting it or saying nothing about it. They just playing it to the curb. After all Chicago did for the black conscious community, I mean, 2 cities that did the most for the black conscious community is Chicago and New York. And I would say Chicago got a little bit of an edge based on the fact who came here? Noble Drew Ali. Who built everything here? Elijah Muhammad, Farrakhan. We can go on and on. Even people don't like, but they still here, and they got major power. Jesse Jackson. Barack Obama come up out of here. Ben Israel, that left here and went to Israel. One of the biggest Hebrew organizations in America. Chicago has put down a lot of black consciousness, a lot of black political business, a lot of black business, a lot of black music. Chicago is like a headquarters for black people. But yet, all these black people right now are going through a thing, and the black community ain't even rallying behind them. I'm supposed to walk outside, and I'm supposed to see TV1 cameras and BET cameras here constantly. 24/7 around the clock. Serious business. Even to the point where, it would have been smart to pull up from where they at and set up an office here and start broadcasting from Chicago. That's what Roland Martin should have did. He should have made TV1 invest the money to put an office here and broadcast from Chicago and start monitoring the situation. I'm talking about heavy, because it's a very serious situation, and it's a very big turning point for black people in America. Same way you should be keeping your eye on Philadelphia. Same way you should be keeping your eye on what's going on in New Orleans and in California. Okay? Because it's going down in Los Angeles, Oakland, New Orleans, Philadelphia, Baltimore. I'm talking about this going down. They shooting a lot of people in Philadelphia. They shooting a lot of people in New Orleans. They shooting a lot of people in California. So, today was kind of sad seeing all the community people out there. They was mourning the brother that got killed because, they say he do a lot for the community. They call him the mayor of the community, But the thing is, he probably put himself out there. I got friends that got friends, and I have friends that's associated with people in ceasefire. And that was one of the biggest problems with ceasefire is, when some problems would go down, they want to hit the block and they want to try to stop it, because as soon as there's one shooting, it might be 5 to 10 more shootings based off that one shooting, because the people that got shot, them and their friends, they know who did it. But they finna go handle that. They ain't going to no police. So they try to go and try to stop it from escalating, but you see the police be there. So, it's a funny situation. As soon as I go on the block where there's some shootings and stuff like that, the police want to know what I'm doing over there. They want to talk to me. And the police a lot of times do that on purpose, like pull up on you and ask you questions and shit in a way to make you look funny. The people, if they drive around and they see me walking out of the police station, it's a small world. You'd be surprised who see you. So, it's a shaky thing. You trying to stop the violence, you put yourself in a bad situation. I would never get out there and get involved with that type of situation. Never. Never would I get out there on the streets and try to be no middleman and try to deal with that, because it's a lot more to it than meets the eye. And, in these neighborhoods, they don't like strangers. They don't like you asking questions. In order to get out here and stop the violence, you have to go ask questions. And one of the most ridiculous things is, like if a cop gets shot, a lot of times black people will go protest. So then you get these idiots to say, why we don't go protest when blacks shoot blacks? Like, that is one of the dumbest fucking, basically racist shit to say anyway, because it don't even make no sense. Okay, I'm going to be two different people. I'm a police officer. I shoot a guy illegally. You see it on the dash cam. You go march and protest, and I can end up what? Getting fired. Now let's take the other situation. I'm a gangbanger. I go shoot a baby or shoot somebody. You go protest. What the hell is going to happen? Nothing. You can't protest gangs. When you hear people say, why black people ain't protesting when they shooting each other, those are people that don't really care about the black community. Because anybody care know that you cannot march and stop gang violence. You can march to close down a restaurant. You can march to close down a laundromat. You can march for politicians to put a light on politicians so they won't get reelected. You can march against the police department. Any system that is a business that's within the system, you can march and protest. You can't march and protest a crack seller, a shooter, a heroin seller, a prostitute. She gonna stop hoeing because you marching? No, no, no. So marches are only against the system. They're not going to work for something outside of the system. So, you can't march that problem away. I mean, and, I got solutions that'll work, but the solutions that I have will work are like 20-piece problems. So I don't like to talk about them because all 20 pieces will have to work together for the solution to work. It'd have to be reform of the jail. It's a lot of things. So I don't see where we're going on some black show talking about the solutions are going to do any good when the black person that's got the show, the black people ain't in the power to make the difference. A lot of the solutions, I have to go to Congress, to the Senate. I have to go to the police department. I have to go to the city council like that. And a lot of black people that's conscious blacks, they are basically victims of white supremacy themselves, so they ain't got no faith in nothing. So as soon as you start talking about going to the system and trying to negotiate and make shit happen, they the first one to say, man, they ain't gonna help us, they ain't gonna listen to us, they ain't gonna do it. So these motherfuckers ain't got no solution. As soon as you try to say a solution, they say that shit ain't gonna work. That's why I don't like fucking with the conscious community, because the conscious community is the biggest representation of the effects of being a second-class citizen and being discriminated against. They are totally reactionary group based off of being mistreated. And most of their talking and their function is like an oppressed baby, like a baby you took some candy from. Real tough. So, the only way we're going to fix these cities is, man, we're going to have to go and get in the political arena. Okay? You ain't going to fix shit on Facebook. You ain't gonna fix shit making a whole bunch of pussy-ass comments against me on my YouTube page. While you typing all this little sissy shit under here to going against me, type up some proposals and take them down to City Hall and show me you about that motherfucking life. See? Because you can talk that shit all you want, but if you ain't gonna go make no action and make nothing happen, you ain't going nowhere. In life, you need an interface. If you got a computer and it got to plug into the camera, what you need? You need a cord that got what? An end that fit to this one and an end that fit to that one. And that's what black people don't got. We don't got the end to fit to this and then the end to fit to that. Yeah, plug into the community, but you still got to go plug in to the people that's making the damn decisions. The idea that, bro, you gonna go try to talk to the people that's running my life? You sound fucking stupid. Asking me, am I going to go talk to the people that's running your life? You should be cheering for me that I want to go and talk to the Senate and the House and the Congress, instead of sitting back and letting them do shit to you and sitting back typing and talking 2012, 2013, 2014, 2017. Man, listen, since I switched over and been watching the black conscious community on the internet, y'all ain't been doing nothing but fucking talking all these years I've been watching. Y'all ain't put no motherfucking plans into effect. Seriously. That's why I'm going and gonna get 1,000 people to become vegan. I want to see like real shit happen. I don't want to see nobody sitting up with no whole bunch of debates and no whole bunch of just talking. If anything, just trying to put money in their own pocket. The community needs you to go and start doing shit for the community. So, all y'all out there, focus on Chicago, focus on New Orleans, focus on Philadelphia, focus on Detroit. If we don't do it, nobody's going to do it. Nobody is going to report the problems we have in the inner city if we don't do it. Stop posting all them pictures of Ankhs and what happened in Kemet and the Medu Netter and all that shit, and start posting what's going on the block. in your community, in your neighborhood? What are your people eating? Are they even healthy? Okay? It's time to really start to help your community and stop being high and mighty. That's what I don't like about the new conscious community. I don't like them. Because originally we was grassroots. You know what that mean? That mean the people was out. We was amongst the people. We worked with the people. We represented the people, not looked down on the people. The new conscious community is internet-based first. Ain't really that big in the community. With all you motherfuckers on the internet, it's supposed to be way more festivals and way more black events going down. You know why it's not? Because you ain't about no motherfucking business and no organization. So you can't put on no goddamn festival. You keep having these little rinky-dink motherfucking lectures and think that a G like me don't look and see the 25, 30 motherfuckers in there and see that shit is not a success like you trying to pump it up to be. Them lectures be whack. Come on, man, I've been going to lectures. Lectures have always been one of the least attended events ever. And then y'all want to hate on Sinetta, who was one of the only people that have been able to make lectures and debates a big arena. Nobody else had ever fucking did that before. Nobody had made lectures or people talking about consciousness a big event like Sinetta did. Before, it was always some little ass shit. When you go see Dr. Ben, tell me how many motherfuckers was there when I went to see Dr. Ben, when I went to see Brother Robin, we went to see all these people. It wasn't like no thousands of people there. You'd be lucky if you got 100 people there. Real fucking talk. Real talk. It don't be big like the Kwanzaa celebration or the African festival that they have, the African Art Festival in Los Angeles, or the big art festival they have here at DuSable Museum. It don't be big like that. And there's less of those events and less of those events because people are not working in the community. If we had more work in the community, more events in the community, we would be able to have it where the gang members will be driving by and want to come out and have some fun. And now we got them in our area and we could talk to them. We could slowly let the music and the fun slowly calm them down. But if you ain't actively providing a good time in the community, then all you leaving is a bad time in the community. And I blame the conscious community because you keep talking like you the fucking elite, but I don't motherfucking see you.